Hi, welcome to this commentary of The Shining. My name is Lisa,
And I'm Andy.
and you're probably wondering why you should listen to this commentary of The Shining of the thousands upon thousands of other commentaries about The Shining. And the quick answer that I will elaborate on later is that I've seen The Shining probably 150 times in the past 2 years.
That is correct.
And that may very well alienate people, but we'll see how this goes. So find out more about why I invested that much time in it.
I'm going to just say that I plan on acting as a person who's not seen this before and ask questions during this commentary that you might have.
Oh.
I'll play the everyman who's never seen The Shining, but I have seen it a bunch and I love it. And
The Everyman Like Jack.
yes,
Learn more soon. So we're watching the new 4K version that was released very recently, but they're all pretty much the same length. So we're gonna press play right now. Right. So 7 seconds in.
Warner Brothers.
Got the foreboding music.
Now, this was not shot with a drone.
No, it wasn't. Drones did not exist
Okay.
when this was made, Andy.
Well, how's it flying so seamlessly?
It was a helicopter.
Ah.
Yeah. I think this is in Oregon.
Oh.
I know that the hotel that they use for the exteriors is the Timberland Lodge
Oh.
in Oregon.
So this place takes place in a hotel.
It does take place in a hotel. Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes. Yep. I feel like this is like a good introduction to the vastness.
Yeah, it's really pretty, but also very kind of scary.
Well, nature's a scary place, Andy.
Yeah,
Just like the Overlook.
And America.
Yeah. It is really beautiful. So for some context on why I watched it quite so many times, every year in the month of October, Andy, who is my husband, watches a new horror movie that he's not a new horror movie, but a horror movie he's never seen every single day for the month of October. And so after a few years of doing this, he's really gotten to the bottom of the barrel, like horrible movies. And I said, if you're going to do this, then I'm going to watch one great horror movie, the same great horror movie every single day for the month of October. And I did in 2018. It started as a joke. I mean, I guess it kind of still is a joke, but the joke's on me now.
Yeah.
It started as a joke. I was like, I'm going to do it every single day. But like I never got sick of it.
Yeah.
In fact, I got progressively more and more into it.
I feel like you got so into it that people bought you like a lot of Shining gifts.
Yeah, I'm the Shining girl
People
now.
and people associate whenever some kind of news
It's
comes
like
up.
people who are like really into frogs, and then everybody they're like, "Oh, I got you a frog doormat,"
Yeah.
because it's like it screamed you.
Yeah.
But I did it in 2018, and then I did it again in 2019, and I've just watched it a lot. Aside from that, like a lot, because
Well, I heard it's quite good.
it is. You know what? I would say before I did this, it was probably in my top like 15 to 20 movies.
Yeah.
I now think it's the best movie ever made.
It seems very well done.
Notice there's no maze there.
Oh, is there a maze in this movie?
Yeah, there's a maze.
Oh.
So this is a set.
So who's this guy?
That's Jack Nicholson. You may
Oh, he said Jack Torrance. Okay, that's his name.
yeah, in the movie
Yeah.
Jack Torrance. In IRL it's Jack Nicholson.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
Because his actor name is Jack.
Yeah, same with Danny.
There's a kid named Danny
There's
in
a
this?
kid named Danny. Actor's name is Danny. A lot of people like to point out that this is an impossible room, just based on the layout. A little bit of kind of what we saw, but what we see later. And nobody, you read all these theories and like, why did they do this? It makes it creepy.
Yeah. It is creepy now that I think about it, because that technically the lobby was where that would have been, right?
No.
What would have been there if like it did follow?
Well, there wouldn't be a window.
Right. So
the room is where it is fine. There's just no window.
There's no window. There is no window.
This is an apartment complex that they live in. I forgot the name of it, but it was vaguely related to Peter Pan, and I was going to mention that, but now I'm not. Wendy's reading Catcher in the Rye because this is actually a coming of age story.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and everybody's going to learn a lot about themselves, and for people that don't like Shelley Duvall in this, I think you're bullshit. There's like I recently read this thing from like Complex, like that men's magazine website, about how like the most was the most annoying.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Most annoying like horror movie characters.
Yeah.
And Wendy was on that list.
Oh.
And there was a whole thing that was just describing her as like this nagging, like horrible wife, and you just can't wait to see her like get her comeuppance, even though she doesn't.
It's a little
Spoiler.
It's a little bit like the Anna Gunn with Breaking Bad thing. It's just like everyone's like, Anna Gunn is so annoying in Breaking Bad, and we're like, well, her husband's selling meth.
But also like Wendy is very nice.
Yeah.
She never nags.
She seems really nice.
Yeah, she's a
caring mom.
Like she's only like perceived as annoying because Jack is so annoyed by her in the movie. There's nothing fundamentally wrong with her. She's a totally normal woman.
Mm-hmm.
So Complex, if you're listening, screw you.
That guy looks familiar. He looks like he's supposed to be somebody.
He's an actor. I mean, here's the thing. Watch Room 237.
I'm
not going to talk about Room 237 stuff.
Okay.
There's a whole lot about how he looks like JFK, and he's very presidential.
Yeah. And he has a little American flag.
Yeah. I do also, like, if you're really into The Shining, like, check out Rob Eger's website. I'm not going to, I can't compete with that.
Hey, isn't he the guy that works for Pixar? He makes like
No, he's not.
Which one is he? Oh, he's the Lighthouse guy.
No.
Who is he?
He's just a guy that does a lot of stuff about The Shining on the internet.
Oh. Who's the guy that works for Pixar and is a big Shining guy?
Lee Unkrich.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he owns the Apollo 11 sweater.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I got him confused with the...
I know.
Sorry.
Apology accepted.
So not only do you know a lot about the movie, but you also seem to know a lot about people who know a lot.
Yeah, because I spend a lot of time reading about The Shining.
Yeah. How many times a week do you think you read about The Shining?
Well, I read about the Holocaust pretty much every day. And then aside from that, I would say maybe 4 to 5 times a week.
That's a lot. That's a lot of reading really depressing and horrific
things. You know what? They're tied in. Also, it's the 40th birthday of The Shining today.
Happy birthday. You look great.
Yeah, you've aged very well.
Mm-hmm. Well, how's this tied into the Holocaust?
I'm going to get into that.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there's going to be some Holocaust talk.
Holotalk. I'm Jewish, so it's okay.
Okay. Well, I am sorry if I offended anyone by saying
Andy
Holotalk.
is not Jewish.
I am not Jewish.
So
he's on a job interview now.
Yeah. Well, I don't. He's talking about how like they're gonna love the hotel.
Mm-hmm.
Like we don't know that.
Oh.
It's almost too quiet for me to hear it.
Yeah. So am I.
Bill Watson's stone cold stare.
Yeah, he seems very full of remorse. Yeah.
I think of him as more angry looking than remorseful.
Uh, did he leave his post? And ate all the food. What?
I love Jack Nicholson's face here because his expression is like so hard to read.
Yeah. I hope he doesn't take this job.
I think that's what makes him like so perfect for this.
Does he take this job?
Andy, stop it. You've seen this movie. Everybody that's listening to this, which is probably just my coworker Mike who asked me to do this.
Mhm.
Hey Mike. Mike has seen this movie. He doesn't need that.
I'm just trying to supply. Yeah.
I love also like you got to laugh about it because it's so horrific that there's no way to like really process it and you have to assume that it's not real. And you know, I think in general assuming that Andy, you and literally everybody else that's listening to this has seen The Shining. I think one of the great things about it as a horror movie is that it kind of all ties together because it's easier to believe that there's ghosts than it is to believe that like a normal dad could just decide to murder his family with an axe.
Yeah.
Ghosts are so much easier to like wrap your head around as an explanation.
Sure. Well, I think we want to believe that at times because then
It's easier than the truth.
But
so also I gotta say, so right there he says that like Wendy's like a confirmed like, you know, horror fanatic.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that's true.
Yeah.
There's so many things about Wendy that are like stated or kind of seen that never really like point to her as a character.
Yeah.
Like you never see an indication of that. Like later she says like pink and gold are her favorite colors. You never see her wear pink and gold.
Mm-hmm. He didn't really answer her. He was just like, right.
It's implied. Danny's wearing a shirt that says 42.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of 42 references in this movie. Also 42 related. That is when the Nazis decided to start killing Jewish people.
No.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yep. There's like a thing. Some people think you can see something in the blood,
Mm-hmm.
and you apparently can, and it's the rig that's shooting the blood out. Yeah.
Are people seeing any hemoglobin?
Maybe. Hemogoblins.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's a good idea for a horror movie right there.
Yeah, little goblins in your blood.
Yeah.
Danny's not wearing pants. Where does pants go?
Where did his pants go? Another mystery of The Shining. The pantsing.
Yeah. Wendy also looks a lot like Goofy.
Oh, the Goofy that's on the wall over there?
Yeah, they're dressed pretty much the same.
Red and blue.
Yep. The colors of clothing are like very or just the wardrobe in general is like very
Mm-hmm.
like tied to character development and how it changes.
Sure.
That bear is from Sears.
Mm-hmm.
Sears catalog.
Yeah.
They modified it, and its eyes kind of look like the dials on the elevator.
Oh.
The actual bear in the Sears catalog. You can find the Sears catalog and look at the bear.
Mm.
I did.
Well, why don't we just mark it up as you did it for us?
Okay. Fair enough.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're doing the work that nobody wants to do or thought to do.
You know, I did all this before the quarantine too.
Yeah.
Imagine how much more productive I could have been with my life.
Oh, no. I feel like you should make a Shining commentary every week where you talk about new stuff.
Maybe.
Mm. So this is a doctor. She's not like a social worker or anything.
No.
She kind of looks like
Yeah. She kind of has that vibe. I think she's also a little bit like her expressions are kind of hard to read. Like I feel like you can kind of feel her like judging. Why does Wendy have a like a giant hair drying apparatus? Like she's not the kind of person that would use that.
Yeah.
But that's like just one of the I feel like that's such a specific choice.
Yeah.
I do feel really bad for Wendy. The more that I watch this, I don't think it's scary. It just makes me very sad for like everyone.
It's a very dramatic story, it seems like.
It does seem like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like she just wants, like, she just has so many, like, dashed hopes for what her life would have been.
Do you think she's, like, a representative of all, like, the female psyche about how men are just so shitty to women and, like, women just, their dreams are all dashed by men's ego and...
I don't know. I never really thought about it that way. I guess you could make like an argument that there's like something about it that the outside image doesn't really align with like what people don't see in a family.
Sure.
Because I do think that this movie is about child abuse.
Right. And ghosts.
And ghosts. I definitely think the ghosts in this are real. I'm not going to be like, the ghosts are fake. No, for the sake of this movie, the ghosts are real.
There's people who think the ghosts are fake?
Yeah.
Mm.
And they're wrong.
Well.
The ghosts are real.
Whoa.
You've dislocated your shoulder, Andy.
I know. I don't like it. It hurts.
She's going to get ash all over so much stuff.
Well, it's building tension, that ash.
Yeah.
It's a tension building ash.
It's so frustrating to watch. Just put it out.
Or flick it.
Flick it. Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
Well, she could put it out, too. Maybe she should.
She should stop smoking.
Everyone should stop smoking. If you're smoking right now while listening to this, put that cigarette out. Chew some gum.
I love the nervous laughter again.
Yeah. Well, it's just that's kind of a natural thing. I think people do just kind of unconsciously smile when people say stories and stuff.
Or she's saying the story. But yeah, it's easier to communicate something bad.
Yeah.
If you're smiling.
Yeah. Because if you think about it, you're like, if you had to explain where you were when a grandparent died, you're always like, oh yeah, I was away, my grandparents died. You kind of put a grimace on.
I guess.
It's kind of a grimace.
Nervous laughter. They didn't have seatbelts or car seats in 1980.
Oh yeah.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
I do love this shot, but that is I think this is one of the first really unsettling kind of things because it's a great looking shot and it makes sense in this, but you're like, why is this kid sitting like that? But I was also born in the mid 80s, so I did not experience the carefree attitude of parents in the 70s where they might let this happen.
I being a little bit older than you, I have experienced this like a little bit, but not to this extent because I think my parents would have told me to sit down
Yeah.
at a certain point. But it's also reminiscent of 50s movies where everybody always sat in the front seat when they drove cars in certain movies back in the day.
Well, because there were more seats in the front.
True, but then they can also get a better shot of it
Yeah.
for the camera.
It is a
But it
better
is
shot. You know what I'm going to say this about Stanley Kubrick? Very good visual storyteller.
Yes.
He made some pretty good movies.
Yeah.
I love that part so much.
Yeah.
Saw it on the television. And then he's like leaning forward. Like that is a scary fucking road.
There's like that mist, like they're going into the something they cannot.
Where's the maze? Also, there's not 42 cars there. There were 42 cars in the other shot. I'm so sorry. My apologies for missing that earlier.
Janitor mopped up the scenery there.
All is set.
This is all set?
All is set. Filmed in order.
What?
The interior is modeled off of an existing hotel in Yosemite, and I'm not gonna say the name because I don't think I would pronounce it correctly. So it'll just be a mystery. He was reading a Playgirl magazine.
Oh. That's a normal thing to do before a job.
Andy. He was and it specifically has an article about incest.
What?
Yeah. Which another subtle indicator, child abuse. Where did that elevator come from? Because theoretically these should be on the same floor, like where they came from and where they are right now.
Oh, that's true.
So there's this movie. I can't even go through everyone, but literally every scene has some kind of inconsistency in it. And I think that's really what makes it so scary, because
jarring.
Like right from the get-go, it defies like every other horror movie logic. Like it's vast and there's wide shots. There's nothing sneaking up on you.
Yeah.
But like you also know right from the beginning exactly what's going to happen. You have like a history of child abuse. You have like a place where a horrible murder happened.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a recipe for disaster, and you just know that.
Right.
And yet it's still so scary. And I think it's just because it's filled with things that are so familiar, but they're just off enough to create a feeling of unease that you wouldn't even realize unless you saw it every day for an entire month.
Yeah.
No, I think you would. But
the Grady sisters.
Yeah.
A lot of people say that they're twins, but didn't I hear him in the interview say that they're different ages?
8 and 10.
So.
But those were Charles Grady's daughters. And we don't know who those.
That is true.
We don't really know that those are those daughters.
Interesting. Good point.
This is another room that doesn't really. The layout of it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
The bathroom shouldn't be in a. It's where they just came from. It's where there's other doors. There's no other doors in that room.
Where are these doors?
Yeah. So much of this movie takes place in a bathroom.
It is the most dangerous room in the house.
20 minutes of this movie take place in a bathroom. And I feel like the tour scene is like the only scene or the only part of the movie where like you get a sense of like intimacy between Wendy and Jack, like them standing together.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really see them interacting in a positive way.
Well, there's the maze.
Yeah, there's the maze because this is also a set.
What
Yep, it's a set.
is that like a? When you say it's a set, do you mean those are like kind of like just like the front?
Yeah, they built the facade.
Yeah, that's neat.
That's the snowcat. Chekhov's snowcat. Introduce the snowcat in the first act. You have to shoot the snowcat.
Why is
in the
Bill
third.
Watson going with them? He's not even explaining anything.
We don't really know what Bill Watson. I'm not. You know, I don't really have a theory on Bill Watson.
Mm.
Yeah.
Do you think he's affected by the ghost?
Bill Watson? I don't know. His presence is so unnecessary
Yeah.
that, like, he is a really,
I guess it's
like,
just another.
complex.
Is this just
character.
another unsettling element to add?
Is he a ghost?
Mm.
I don't think you see any acknowledgement. You kind of do, actually. I was going to say, I don't really think that you see Dick acknowledge Bill Watson.
Well, he already knows him.
Right. But you usually, you'd say hi.
Sure.
That bar is in the American Legion in Hollywood.
Oh, we should go there.
Someday. We can't.
Oh.
There's a pandemic.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, way to date the commentary.
Yeah. It's pandemic times.
Pandemic times. Remember when people used to stand around close
No.
like that?
They're breathing near each other.
Oh, my God. That's so crazy. And
So they're walking off. We know that that's not where the kitchen is. They're walking off basically to where the red bathroom is in that scene.
Interesting.
Kensington Apartments. That's the name of the apartment building. Because
And how's that tied to Peter Pan, Lisa?
Kensington Gardens. Kensington is the place where it takes place,
Oh.
right? Or where J.M. Barrie lived.
Oh, okay.
Don't ruin my Peter Pan connection.
I'm not.
No, but I do think that Wendy's like a fitting kind of name for this character because she's like on the cusp of growing up.
Uh-huh. Oh, and Wendy's in Peter Pan.
Yeah, Wendy from Peter Pan is like on the cusp of growing up.
That's cool how they kind of, if you really look at it, looks like they're just body parts.
It does.
I wonder if that was done on purpose.
Well, they technically are body parts.
That is true. Body parts of animals.
Here's another part where we see somebody state that they like something and like they never get it. You never see them with it.
Like you love The Shining, and here we are. You're watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Wendy's dressed like the doctor, by the way.
Oh, yeah. She looks more mature or
Yes.
mature. Did he call it the story room? Or did the storage?
I think the storeroom. There's no organizational system to this pantry, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
You got baking powder by Tang, and then Texsun Golden Ray.
Yeah.
Symbolic.
Yeah.
They just came from the gold room.
Oh.
Because this movie's about the abandonment of the gold standard.
Oh. All I know right now is that I kind of want some ice cream.
Yeah. Abandonment of the gold standard. There's in the picture at the end, guy that looks like Woodrow Wilson.
Oh.
No, I don't really have anything
You know, like how people
to back that up.
do those like frat games where whenever like somebody says something in a movie, they'll like drink.
Yeah, it's a drinking game.
I was thinking they should do like an eating game. Whenever the food is mentioned, you have to eat it.
We've done
in The
like
Shining.
we've made the food from this.
Oh
You were there.
no, I know. I'm playing my character.
Oh right. Right. Sure, child, stay alone with this strange man.
Oh, and they're touching hands. Don't they know about Corona?
Oh my god, I love Scatman Crothers.
Scatman Crothers is a treasure for.
Oh my god, watching
everyone.
him talk about Danny Lloyd and like crying,
Yeah.
I feel so sad for him in this. It breaks my heart every time. Whole bunch of 7-Up.
Let me just say, I love Scatman Crothers. I grew up watching Hong Kong Phooey, and he was like my favorite. And I loved the voice when I was a kid. I was like, God, what a cool voice.
I didn't watch that.
No, it was.
I do love this scene though.
Hmm?
It's like it's such a simple scene.
Mm-hmm.
There's no music. And I feel like it's like what every other Shining and inspired movie like tries to do, but just can never replicate.
Yeah.
And now there's a whole realm of just boring horror movies that are like, we're trying for pacing and
Yeah.
this, and it's just like this scene is just so perfect.
Yeah. Well, I think also I've always heard that Stanley Kubrick did a lot of shots and really pushed the actors to do a lot of takes. And I feel like most modern horror movies now do not have any time to do a million takes.
I don't think that most movies do.
Yeah.
This took close to a year to shoot.
Yeah.
This shot in order
Yeah.
on a set.
Yeah.
That is not a thing that happens.
The thing I find really interesting about this movie is that Jack Nicholson, this is me breaking out of characters a little bit. Jack Nicholson recommended Scatman Crothers for this movie, but they don't have that much screen time together, it seems like. They were like good friends,
Yeah.
but it's just,
Well, they were gonna be like, can you change the script around so I can hang out with my friend on set?
yeah.
Overlook Hotel?
Told me it had 3 Michelin stars.
I think Michelin stars are just for restaurants.
There's a restaurant in it.
I mean,
Hmm.
I guess. I bet Dick's a good chef.
What?
I bet he's a good chef.
I'd like to think that he is, yeah.
Yeah. I do like. I love that this is also like this happened right in front of the spot with the knife.
Oh, yeah.
That like Wendy's and later. Like this is such an intentional location for this.
Yeah.
It's like such a pivotal action spot.
There's a freezer in the background.
I love this because he just looks so genuinely like afraid.
Mm-hmm. This is so good. When it came out, was this well received?
No, not really. It was
Wow.
nominated for a Razzie, as was Shelley Duvall.
This movie was considered bad.
I don't know that it was considered bad, but like I do think it is a movie that really takes more than one viewing
Yeah.
to like really grasp the like complexity of.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that it's like so seamlessly well made.
Mm-hmm.
Like the camera work, like everything about it is so amazing, but it seems so effortless that it almost is easy to overlook.
Oh, overlook.
Oh my god, pun intended.
Pun intends.
But like the way that like the camera tracks people, like it's just
I mean, this is a
it's
pretty.
just so perfect you don't even notice.
I mean, this does seem like a pretty simple, like, reverse shot kind of.
Yeah.
Scene right now, but it seems so well done. These actors are really good. One month later.
Where's the maze?
Where is the maze?
That's the actual exterior of the Timberland Lodge in Oregon. Yeah. So we see Wendy coming. Where's she coming from?
Oh, yeah.
We have no reason to think that the kitchen is over there.
Yeah.
Because we see Danny with his like bike ride through the kitchen. There we go. So here's.
Is that a big wheel? Is that an actual big wheel brand?
I have no idea.
I heard that it was made for the movie.
The bike?
The big wheel? Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised just because of what went into doing this.
Yeah.
Like somebody was on a rig behind him.
Yeah.
And I mean the sound is so perfect.
Yeah.
The panel on that coffee machine changes later.
Oh.
It's brown right now, but it becomes white.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my.
It's a fun fact.
Do you think they did it because it was glaring, picking up too much light, maybe?
That the brown was picking up more light, so they replaced it with the white one?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. So they've been here for a month.
Uh-huh.
She made fresh eggs.
Oh.
And that's just one of the things. We're like, you wouldn't have fresh eggs
Do you think they're
a month in to eating food out of a storeroom and a walk-in freezer.
Do you think they're suffering from egg poisoning and that all the rest of this movie's all the scariness is going to be
Probably.
delusion?
It's classic egg poisoning.
Classic.
I love the camera shake. It's like hints to instability.
Yeah.
You know?
Sure.
I feel that. Writing is hard.
Oh yeah. Writing is so hard we didn't do any of the writing that we're saying. Like we didn't write anything out to say for this.
No.
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 Because that's how hard writing is.
Yeah, it's easier just to talk.
Yeah. You know what he should have done when he went up here? He should have tried to start a podcast or do a commentary for a movie.
He should have done a podcast. It's kind of this is the perfect quarantine movie because we're basically all Jack Torrance right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's a nice typewriter.
It is a nice typewriter.
Classy.
Here's Jack working. You know what's fun? You never see Jack work.
Yeah.
You just see him type all work, no play, but there's no evidence of him actually doing any work of any kind. And once he's in the hotel, he never leaves.
Yeah.
Until the very end.
That's why you got to get out and walk around a little
Loser
bit.
has to make America clean.
Is that what she said?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you got to get out of the house. You got to walk around and do stuff.
I just wanted to say something about depression, and I know maybe a lot of people are getting depressed these days, but it's very important to walk outside and let sunlight hit you. That kind of actually does make you feel better. So if you're inside all day, do go outside, even
Pause
for
this.
like a minute.
Go outside.
Yeah. Music's so creepy.
Yeah, I don't know about this. I think this was written for the movie.
The score?
Yeah, but they're like the kind of haunting piece at the end, and
Yeah.
your microphone is falling and it's making noises.
Sorry.
It's by Penderecki, and he died recently.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think of COVID, but
that's still sad.
yeah.
But didn't Wendy Carlos do some music for this?
Yeah, she did the score.
Yeah. So this is Wendy Carlos right now.
I think so.
Hmm.
I don't hold me to that. I'm not an expert on the music. I like it though.
Yeah.
It's good.
Very talented lady.
How cool is this shot? Not a special effect. It was like an
Oh.
overlay thing.
Oh.
There's only one special effect in the movie,
What's that?
and it is a roaring fire later in the
What?
Colorado Lounge because it was too hot to create a real fire.
Oh. I always kind of feel like were these hedges real? Or are they like just like styrofoam to look like?
I don't think they were real because they moved them around.
Mm.
But apparently, like, crew members frequently got lost
Yeah.
in the maze. Where's the maze?
Where is the maze?
And like, how perfect is it that you go from the shot of the maze to the
Mhm.
hotel, and like you don't totally realize it. I love the giant fruit cocktail. And here we have a news story about a woman named Susan Robertson who's gone missing.
Oh. Foreshadowing, maybe?
Foreshadowing. It has to do with her husband. Giant fruit cocktail. And I think that's another thing that plays into like Wendy's like ambition.
Mm.
Like that she's just had to like pull back in because she just has to be like a submissive wife. So tying in with the 42 theme, Danny's about to see room 237, which 2 times 3 times 7,
Oh.
42,
Oh.
right?
Wow. Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly 42 minutes into the movie, he sees room 237.
Wait. Well, we're at 41 and 38, 39, 40.
Andy.
Okay.
Super boring to listen to.
I guess so. We'll just say when it's actually 42 minutes. We're getting there really soon, though.
Accident?
No.
Maybe. So, I mean, this is like such a pivotal, this is like the turning point.
Yes.
This is when things start turning to shit for them.
Yeah.
And you can also see that door open, like right in front of Danny right now. That's just open. You can see a set piece, like holding the wall up
Oh.
in that. And that's another thing.
That's crazy.
You know, you're just like so distracted by the tension of the scene of like what's in this room that you don't even notice. And of course, I think it was on purpose.
Yeah.
I don't think there were any mistakes or not on purpose things in this movie. You don't take a year to shoot and build a set and film in order and make mindless mistakes.
Yeah. Them twins are in there, maybe.
They're not.
They're not. I think everybody just commonly calls them that.
No. Like they're not in there.
Oh, yeah.
And the girls are twins. There was a giant piece of driftwood on the table.
Yeah, what happened to that?
It's not there anymore.
That's weird.
Yeah. Just gone.
Tick-a-type, tick-a-type.
Oh my god. And like the tension of like Wendy walking across this giant room. Like it's just so huge. Like you literally can't creep up on somebody here. It's like the vastness is what makes it scary, you could say. Like the western, traveling out west into the wilderness, the Oregon Trail.
Oh, yeah, that is a scary time. You can
know,
get dysentery.
You can get dysentery. Your oxen can die. You can lose an axle. And then maybe nobody wants to trade with you. And you can't kill any squirrels. And you've run out of bullets.
And part of your party, Poop Balls, dies.
Yeah.
That sounds very supportive.
Yeah. Too supportive, even. I mean, she just wanted to make him sandwiches.
Yeah.
And
he seems really mean.
What he was writing.
Yeah.
And just like her sad, long walk out of this room.
He could have handled
people
that.
that think that Wendy's annoying, I mean, watch that scene.
Yeah. I mean, he could have handled that better. He could have been nice about it.
Yeah, he could have been. I do occasionally feel for Jack, which is an unpopular opinion, I think, a little bit. But I do sometimes feel bad for him. And I think that he's kind of a victim as well. And let me explain that, because that's not a great way to say that. I do think that this movie is about toxic masculinity and the horrible things that, like, white men have done, basically. Like, the Native American imagery, the, like, allusions to the Holocaust. Like, I don't think that's an accident. I think that the Overlook stands for, like, basically the world. Right? So I think that Jack is, like, a product of toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows how to express himself.
Yeah.
And I think it's, like, almost perfect that he's a writer, because he's a writer who, like, can't write.
Mm.
And the only thing that's the special effects of fire.
Really?
The only thing he wants to do is work on this project and, like, be creatively successful, and he can't.
Yeah.
And it's sad that he's not able. It's sad that he's not able to express himself or articulate his feelings in, like, a positive, helpful way.
Can I just say right now that I'm sorry for all the things I've done, and as a white male.
And here we have, like, her Native American theme.
Yeah.
Jacket. She's wearing moccasins.
Oh, that jacket is really cool, though.
I'm pretty sure it was made for this.
Oh, yeah?
I've not even attempted to find it. But, you know, it's cold because there's only heat by the
fire?
No, heat in the where their little quarters are.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, they got to wear. 12 is another number that comes up constantly in this. And, like, the number of food, and with this, I don't remember. I'm not a big numerology person.
She sounds pretty sad and desperate right now.
Yeah, well, she wants to be talking to somebody who's not a young child or mean to her.
Yeah. Don't we all?
Yeah.
It's a handsome guy, too.
He does look a little bit like Jack Nicholson.
Yeah. Oh, he's so nice. It's kind of sad and tragic, this.
I know, she just wants to talk to him.
Why doesn't she just text them or something? Or
I don't know, but you know what's funny? If he hadn't given her that advice,
Yeah.
they may have been okay.
Yeah.
It's where Danny hides later.
Oh.
Some water. Water's symbolic of change. Here we're on second floor. Their room is like right to the left.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's the exit sign and there's like a hallway through there. Just if you're interested in the geography of the hotel.
Yeah. Are there maps online of it?
Yeah. There's a lot of maps.
Lots of maps.
Check out a map.
So, wouldn't you say that this implies that this might be the Grady sisters?
Yeah, but like, we also we hear of a Charles Grady and then we meet a Delbert Grady.
True.
So, which again, more inconsistency. We don't really know. I do want to also say this. I obviously did not discover this, but like the shots of those girls, it's not the same shot. If you just take those shots, it looks like they're breathing. So like it's cool editing.
Cool editing, dude.
That kid did that in the audition. That was not like a...
Yeah.
This is one of two times we're going to talk about the book and what I prefer, Stephen Weber's The Shining miniseries from ABC in the 90s.
Oh.
They don't say that in the movie. That is from the book. That movie is The Summer of 42. Another 42.
42 reference.
Yeah.
What is that movie about?
It's about like a bunch of teenagers who want to like have sex with a married woman.
Oh, wow. Weird.
Yeah. So totally cool. In the commentary for the movie, for this,
yeah,
it's the camera guy who invented Steadicam, and he talks about how like, oh, it had no significance. It must have been another Warner Brothers property.
Yeah.
I call bullshit on that.
Yeah.
No cord, which is literally my dream. I hate cords. I would love if there was cordless technology.
I mean, they also didn't shy them from using Disney stuff. They seem to use a lot of Disney stuff in the beginning there.
Yeah.
So I feel like that had to be on purpose to use the Summer of 42.
Oh, absolutely. Again, no accidents. And it is kind of a strange movie to have right before what I consider to be the scariest scene in the movie. Because there are numerous like indications of abuse in this. And this is like by far the most blatant scene to me. Like he's sneaking in already. He's very quiet. He's trying not to wake Daddy. Don't wake Daddy. Don't wake
So there's
Daddy.
a Mickey Mouse shirt there.
Yeah. It's actually a sweater.
I wonder if they had to go through a lot of stuff to get the permission to
That's a whole other commentary. The commentary about the acquiring of the rights.
Yeah. You want to talk about an evil force? Walt Disney.
Yeah. Nazi.
Oh, yeah.
Sympathizer. Some would say Nazi sympathizer.
Also, Mickey Mouse is playing football in the sweater, and football is one of the most toxic masculine sports ever, and it kills numerous men a year. Uh-huh. Oh, don't go there. No. Ugh.
There's just something so upsetting to me about how like Danny is just like just goes rigid. Like there's no sign of like a happy family here at all. It's just like he looks like he's trying to like disconnect from this completely, and he's just staring into nothing. And this is the only scene where you see like Jack and Danny kind of interact really after like the car.
Yeah. Like this seems like he's kind of also just kind of going through certain emotions of like what you're supposed to do when you're supposed to be like a dad kind of thing. It doesn't feel like genuine coming from him.
No, it's upsetting.
Yeah.
It feels upsetting, and you want to like take that child away because nothing good is happening. Doesn't smile, doesn't look at him.
Danny Lloyd never acted again after this, right?
No, he did. He was in like I think a movie about Taft or something.
The president?
Yeah.
But he's not an actor anymore. He's really good.
No, he's not an actor. He's great in this. And if you watch the Stanley Kubrick's daughter does what's it called? Behind the scenes.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the behind the scenes where he's like very gregarious.
Yeah.
And like a totally normal kid.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know why I thought Taft. He's in Will. G. Gordon Liddy as young G. Gordon Liddy.
Oh. Was there any other?
Yeah, he was in Doctor Sleep as in a cameo.
Yeah. But that's not much of a acting career.
No.
I would say.
He's a biology professor.
Oh.
Yeah. According to Wikipedia. I don't believe him. I think he sexually abused Danny.
Yeah. Wednesday.
The lights are interesting because those are none of the rooms that people would occupy.
Yeah.
We know that it's not their room. I made a map of the outside once, by the way.
Oh.
Yeah.
You should put some kind of link. Or do a plug at the end to say. No? Okay.
Stanley's got his Apollo 11 sweater, because of the moon landing. Because Stanley Kubrick faked the moon landing.
Oh.
I don't really believe that, but I do think that he was aware of that connection.
Yeah.
And did it intentionally. Also,
to mess with people?
Guess who is responsible for getting us to the moon? Nazis.
Oh.
Nazis were recruited from Germany by the U.S. government for Operation Paperclip so that they could help us win the space race.
Now, let me ask you this, though, because I've always found this interesting about you, just for the people who are listening. For a long time, though, you used to think that we never went to the moon, though, or that the moon landing was fake.
I'm going to say I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a proud fan of science and facts.
Yes.
I was skeptical
Mm-hmm.
as a person in my early 20s before
Mm-hmm.
I was aware of flat earthers
Oh, yeah.
and that kind of thing. And then I was very easily convinced that the moon landing happened
Yeah.
by watching a quick video.
Yeah.
Here are Wendy's overalls.
Oh.
What I like to think of as the star of the movie. So I contacted there's a Shining website. I tried actively to find the overalls. I will be releasing a podcast on just the overalls. It was the Pixar guy runs that website, and I emailed him, and I was like, maybe he knows. And I was like, where's Wendy's outfit from? And he emailed me back almost immediately and gave me a brand breakdown of where they are. It's a British company that doesn't exist anymore called the Hardware Clothing Company. I've probably spent 100 hours looking for them.
Mm-hmm.
They can't find them, and it sucks because I know that they're sitting in someone's aunt's house, like
Mhm.
untouched in their closet. So if your aunt has those overalls, let me know. I'll buy them. Big bucks.
Big bucks. How much would you be willing to spend on them?
I would prefer not to say because I
negotiation.
want to be able to
tactic?
negotiate. Yeah.
Yeah.
But there is room for negotiation.
I'm willing to go as high as $20.
So Jack has had a dream
Mm-hmm.
that he did something horrible to his family.
Yeah.
The scene following him and Danny in the room together. So we go right from Danny and Jack together to Danny in room 237 to this.
Right.
And then we never see Danny normal again.
Yeah.
Danny is basically gone for the sake of this movie.
Yeah.
He's Tony.
Now, I heard something that in the book.
Also, I have to say, so he's coming. Room 237 is on the other side of this room.
Yeah.
So the fact that he's coming from this side,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
to
that
me,
is
almost points to him being in his apartment, their apartment.
weird. Yeah. Now the interesting thing is, you said that he's now turned into Tony at
Yeah.
this point, which is weird because in the book and I think in the miniseries,
Stephen Weber's The Shining.
Tony is, and I still think it kind of works in this movie, is that Tony is actually an adult Danny.
I don't think it works.
I think it works a little bit.
I'm not going to get into it. I've waited to say this because I didn't want to alienate people. I didn't read the book. I read it in 5th grade, which doesn't count. I basically looked at the pages. I didn't absorb anything. And I don't really have an interest in reading the book. I've seen Stephen Weber's The Shining ABC miniseries from the 90s. It's not watchable. That's a doll. She's carrying a doll. That's not really a child.
Oh wow. It looks like a kid.
Stephen King hates this movie.
Yes, I've heard that.
This is one of the most perfect movies ever made. Stephen King is dead to me, is my point.
Is it because she said "you son of a bitch"?
I think so. Stanley Kubrick really tried to protect him during the making of this, and he thought it was some kind of comedy, I think. And they had an Easter egg hunt for the kids. He and the twins. This took place this was almost a year of filming.
Well, to go back real quick about Stephen King, I think Stephen King, I think he's a good writer.
Oh, we're not going to talk about Stephen King.
Well, I just want to say my
But look, Jack is it's only happening in front of the mirrors.
Oh.
There's too much. There's just too much goodness about to happen to talk about Stephen King.
Well, I was just going to say, I think Stephen King is a good writer, but I think he kind of has bad taste.
Yeah, the unwinding hours.
But
It's all unwind.
So do I. I have horrible taste at times.
Yeah. I mean, no. It's great.
I mean, I love this movie. Seeing it for the first time.
I think you're moving the mic a little too far away from your mouth sometimes.
Okay.
It's not picking everything up.
Okay.
Just some behind the scenes technical talk.
Yeah.
Because we're not going to edit this.
We're also exposing that a little bit, like how Stanley Kubrick exposed some of his.
Oh God, I love this part.
It's a pretty iconic scene.
Yeah, because up until this point, he's just a
He's just going.
he's just a shitty dad.
He's really angry. You know, it's interesting to break out of the character being the person that actually has seen this. He says he wants a beer, but then he gets a whiskey.
Right. Yeah.
Again, people not getting what they wanted.
Right.
Although, arguably, I guess I'd rather have a whiskey than a beer. And whiskey is better. Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know. Not a big drinker. Bourbon. Not a whiskey.
No.
You were wrong.
You got me.
She's just ghosting around.
Ghosting used to have a very different meaning.
White man's burden. Andy, do you want to share your favorite fact about when Jack sees ghosts?
Breaking character again of
Yeah.
the person that doesn't know.
You as the person. This is your like party fact.
This is, every time Jack is talking to a ghost, there is a mirror in the scene. There is a big mirror behind Lloyd in the bar here. So technically, and this is what gives credence to a lot of the people who think there are no ghosts in the movie, which they're wrong. But that actually Jack Torrance is talking to himself in the mirror. You can conceivably see it that way.
But there are ghosts.
But there is ghosts. The movie even makes a point to say that, or show that there are ghosts.
Stanley Kubrick also said their ghosts are real.
Yes.
Yeah.
In the movie.
Yes. I don't know what his stance is in real life.
I would imagine.
But mirrors are kind of about the duality of man.
Yes.
So
he does.
And that's, a big theme in this.
Well, it's interesting because we watched Full Metal Jacket last night.
Yes, we did.
And there's a point where Joker references the peace pin on his jacket.
Oh, yeah, and his hat said
I'm born to kill.
Born to kill, and
he said
it was because of the
duality of man.
But yeah, that's what the other thing I love about Stanley Kubrick is I feel like there are his movies are so different and yet so thematically similar.
Yes. I also think it's interesting because it in an interesting way there's something about this that says that toxic masculinity is bad. This movie is kind of saying it's horrible, but at the same time, he was a toxic male.
Yes, he was. This is also the point when he mentions hurting Danny.
Yes.
And the timeline that he gives is different from what Wendy says to the doctor.
Yes.
In the beginning, which you could interpret as a mistake, or you could interpret it as being such a consistent thing that happens that they can't even think of the same event.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Let me ask this then. Do you ever have an idea about how old Danny is supposed to be?
I think Dan is like 5 or 6.
So if he's saying that, because he's saying it's 3, that means his son was 3 when he did
Yeah.
the thing. If he's saying it was 3 years ago.
Right.
If he was 8, I guess that makes sense that he was 5.
No, there's actually no appropriate age
No.
to
Well, I know, but it kind of does make it worse if he's doing it to a 3-year-old, which is like there's barely like cognizance when you're 3.
I don't know. I've known some pretty spirited 3-year-olds.
I'm not
They're
saying
proper people.
I guess so.
Look at the clips on those overalls. I mean, you can't, they're so unique.
Yeah.
He just saw a ghost. She's reporting.
Mm.
Is she nagging here? No.
Yeah.
Her son wandered downstairs, frightened, ghost white, and with a torn shirt. That
Sucking
seems like
his thumb.
a rational reaction
Yeah.
to your son telling you that.
Glenn Rinker.
I love Glenn Rinker. His lamps also have no cords.
Oh.
Scene always reminds me of a Clockwork Orange
Yeah.
for that shot.
Not a bad looking hot babe there.
Yeah, I found that art and I did want it, and then I thought maybe I should not get
Yeah.
that for my home.
You
And
don't
then
wanna-
I got another art that's from a Clockwork Orange instead.
Do you think it would be a cultural appropriation?
Well, a little bit. Also, like we have kids come over sometimes,
Yeah.
and I don't
You
think
don't
that
want
like
them to come over all the time then.
Anyways, I thought maybe not good. Not good to have naked
No,
women on the
no.
walls.
I was just joking around there.
I know.
It was a joke.
I know. You yoked?
I'm making yolks. I have to just say that this music right now is like, I feel like playing with the tone and pitch of how this music sounds is so hard to have it not be completely grating. You know, and it's kind of a real testament to the, I think Wendy Carlos who did it, that to make this music like so like perfect and eerie, but not too off-putting.
So we were in room 237.
Oh.
It's another room that doesn't make sense. You know.
Weird carpet.
We got purple penis carpet. Everybody fucking loves that orange carpet. I think that this carpet and the carpet in the gold ballroom are kind of better.
Yeah. I mean the carpet in the that Danny is on when he gets the ball.
Yeah, the orange.
Yeah, that is so iconic though.
Oh, really? I'm just kidding. Not as iconic. Yeah, it is. But this bathroom, this movie came out 40 years ago today.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the most perfect bathroom. I love how it's curved.
Yeah.
In the past 40 years, you'd think that somebody would have made a bathroom like that in real life, and I've never seen anything like that happen.
Yeah.
I also have to say there's no toilet paper because they couldn't get it because of the pandemic.
Also, ghosts don't poop.
Yes. But they do pee.
And take showers and
Yeah.
baths. Baths.
There's a bidet, which adds great.
Happy bidet to Shining.
Yeah, happy bidet. It adds great visual balance.
I feel like this woman's body is very similar to the woman's body that's in A Clockwork Orange that's naked.
I'm not going to comment.
I'm just saying.
I don't want to
I
comment.
feel like Stanley Kubrick had a type.
Very possibly. It does kind of look like she had like a C-section or something, though.
That C stands for coochie coochie coochie.
Yeah.
Can we make it a little lower?
Yeah,
This
we
is
got to
really
make it
loud.
lower. It's real loud.
Can we turn down the nudity in this scene?
No, although I do remember seeing this on TV,
Yeah.
and I guess they just cut it.
I think they kind of. I think when I seen this on TV, they I completely forgot about it and then remembered that I never saw it before. To stay in character.
Oh.
I think they just cut to when he's kissing her.
Yeah. They should have done what they do in Showgirls when they used to play that on VH1 is like put like a fake bikini on her.
Yeah. That looks good.
Yeah, that would have been good in this.
Here's the other thing about showing Showgirls on like TV that everyone could see. Just don't. Like it's just gonna ruin the movie.
Yeah. Real nose smush.
Yeah. Big chunk of her back missing.
She has such a good sense of humor, though.
Yeah. It's funny because it's true. This is it. I think this is the most telling thing. It's proving that men really don't want a sense of humor in a woman.
No. Maybe the thing that Jack is really afraid of here is that he saw himself and he saw his own evil actions reflected in that mirror. And that's what he was afraid of.
And then he made out with his mirror.
Yeah, he made out with himself.
I like Dick's place. It's nice.
Yeah.
Although he's in Florida.
Yeah, he's in Miami.
No, Miami's nice, I guess, right?
I've never been there.
Really?
I'm from the shit part of Florida, Andy.
Oh.
The you can see the coffee machine in the mirror right there.
Uh-huh.
The panel was white.
Oh.
Yep. Just a fun tidbit.
It's interesting. She said 237.
Yeah.
Everybody says 237.
Yeah. Well, because she's also not seen ghosts. She's now the only person involved in this that she's just in a traumatic situation where like something's happened to her kid and she doesn't know what.
Right.
Whereas Jack is now dealing with his own inner demons and outer demons, and Danny's getting mind fucked by ghosts and his dad.
Mm. I mean, not to defend Jack Torrance. I'm not saying he's a good person.
Oh, wait. I was going to say, though, but that means that, like, they understand. Like,
Yes.
they are like aware of the final solution because we're going back to the Holocaust.
Yes.
Wendy's like, she doesn't know.
Yeah.
She's just living her normal life. But I don't think she's stupid
No.
because no rational person would think like, oh, ghosts. There must be an evil presence here. Why didn't I notice that before?
I think even people who believe in ghosts generally will go through the most reasonable option first before going to ghost.
Yeah, which is kind of interesting because it's really contrary to how people believe in conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
Because we're living in pandemic times now, or plandemic times, depending on who you talk to.
Mm-hmm.
And people are very, I mean, not all, or even probably a lot of people, but loud people are very fixated on, Bill Gates and 5G. And
Yeah.
I kind of think that almost ties into this movie because if you're, if there's a situation that's so complex that it's basically incomprehensible to fathom the effects of,
Yeah.
it's so much easier to choose a real villain
Yeah.
and like say like, oh, this is the fault of this.
Yeah.
Because it helps you take control of a situation where nobody can really control what's happening. And I think in this, and the reason, this works is it's so much easier to believe that it's ghosts
Yeah.
and this hotel has an evil presence than like this guy would just lose it and try to kill his family.
I also think I think that's why the movie kind of tackles a bunch of different issues in the movie because conspiracy theories don't like to like pinpoint a bunch
Got
of
the 7-Up.
different things. Yeah. Oh, 7 Up. What's the deal with the
So
seven?
Stanley Kubrick has a recurring thing in movies.
Mm-hmm.
7 Diamonds.
Okay.
Some real Illuminati shit. No, it's in 2001,
Yeah.
and that right behind him is directly behind the 7-Up is directly behind that. You see 7 Diamonds there.
Uh-huh.
It's just a reoccurring visual. It's in A Clockwork Orange. It's in Full Metal Jacket. And then it's usually followed by like some kind of rainbow. And here we have like the balloons.
Oh.
And Clockwork Orange, there was like ladies with fun hair.
Uh-huh.
Some people believe that Stanley Kubrick was murdered because he knew too much and was sharing those secrets symbolically in his movies. Alternatively, you could also say that he died because he was relatively old and didn't take great care of himself.
Yeah.
We'll never know.
I guess the weird thing about conspiracy theories is no one ever wants to admit that the conspiracy theory is actually kind of fun, as much as that it might be kind of like a scary idea that like this like evil person is controlling the world.
What?
Or something. It's like kind of fun to think that there's like this crazy.
I don't know. Those people don't seem like fun to me.
I know, but I feel like it's like it's more fun than the truth.
Oh, the truth is horrible.
And boring.
Well, that's why we have movies and fun things.
Yeah. Like conspiracy theories.
Yeah. We got a fun old-timey party.
Full of ghosts, I imagine.
It's Midnight, the Stars and You. That's the song.
That song was not written for the movie, but is actually an old-timey song.
Yeah.
Poor Lloyd, never got to work every night.
Yeah. It looks like there's other
Yeah.
bartenders. We only accept ghost money.
We only take Ghost Express.
Credit cards didn't exist in. Credit cards are like a 50s thing.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Did it? Something happen?
Sounded like something fell. Oh, I never. Diners Club.
Oh,
Diners
yeah.
Club was the first credit card.
Does that still exist?
I think so, but it's not particularly common. I think it might be owned by another credit card company. But check out my commentary on the history of credit cards.
Uh-huh.
Because if there's one thing I love more than the Holocaust, it's finances. I'm very Jewish. I just realized that.
Yeah.
Oh, no. That lady looks like she's a bloody handprint on her butt.
Oh.
He got advocat all over him.
Now, what is avocado?
Advocat is a drink that is made of brandy, eggs, and cream. I have had it. It's kind of like an eggnog.
Okay.
It's Dutch.
Mm.
It's a very interesting drink to have on you. Advocat is also called advocate of the devil.
Mm.
And
Take on advocate.
advocate. It means advocate means lawyer
Oh.
in Dutch.
Oh.
Here we have the bathroom. More diamonds.
Mm-hmm. And the kind of the color of the Dutch is gold. It's like kind of a reddish gold.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty meaningful drink.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't care for it when we had it. I think this is the scene where everything really comes together in terms of like this scene is like the thesis of what The Shining is about to me. And he's also the dad from Clockwork Orange.
Yeah.
The like meek father. And I love Jack Nicholson's like he's so exaggerated in the movie in general.
Yeah.
But this is like the scene where he like really crazes out.
Yeah.
And it almost looks like it's like kind of sped up at certain points.
Mm-hmm.
We got Delbert Grady here. This guy is obviously not the caretaker from 10 years ago.
Because that was Charles Grady.
Because that was Charles Grady. And this is an old-timey guy.
Yeah.
Couldn't possibly be the same. I think that's an allusion to the book and the Stephen Weber's The miniseries.
Yeah.
Kind of made it in.
Yeah. Again, mirrors.
Oh, yeah. Oh. Mirrors and light.
Mm.
So what does that mean?
Yeah.
All right. Here's my thing.
Yeah.
I feel like Jack Torrance is, we've already established this is symbolic of all of the horrible things that white men have done.
Yeah.
And you could make the argument like Jack is the devil. I don't think that Jack is the devil.
Yeah.
That or like the true the true evil is not Jack.
Yeah.
Jack is like an impressionable person. He's the caretaker. He's not in charge.
I would say
He's not running the operation. So I kind of view Jack as normal guy, you know. It's the late 1930s in Germany, and he wouldn't inherently seek bad things, but he's impressionable and he's weak and he's drawn in by people that will accept him. And so he's willing to do horrible things on behalf of that.
Yeah.
And that those people are the people that are the evil because they allow it to continue happening.
Yeah.
And he's always been the caretaker because it always keeps happening and it never ends. It's a cycle.
Yeah. It's a very interesting acting choices happening here, and so well acted because, like, when we meet Delbert Grady here, he's very, like, his posture is so, like...
Total shift.
Yeah, and now he's standing, like, straight, and he's, like, talking so... with such authority. It's pretty amazing. And it also, like, there is a certain level of confidence that Jack Torrance seems to display throughout the movie up until this moment. Like, he seems really bewildered. And
I think he wants to, like, impress him.
Yeah, and he seems, like, kind of confused and scared a little bit.
Right.
Here.
Like, when the scene starts, Jack is, like, kind of trying to get him.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, oh, well, you're this guy.
Yeah.
But then as soon as he is, like, latches onto Jack and kind of makes Jack feel special, he totally shifts that.
Yeah.
It's a complete change.
Yeah.
Grady's like the orchestrator.
Yes.
You know, he's not doing the bad shit. Did Hitler do horrible things? Or did he get people to do horrible things for him?
Like Manson?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hitler was worse. You know, I also don't know. Hitler may have done a lot of horrible things.
I'm sure he did. I think it's kind of like the interesting thing is that I feel like this is kind of just like if it was going to be analogous to the modern male. I think there's like a thing where modern males kind of like look back at old events and old versions of the modern male, and they would be like, "Oh my God, those guys back then used to be men. You know, they used to be really real. They would take initiative. They would be strong. You know." And I think I feel like it's just kind of like the misinformation that men are getting throughout the years of what men are supposed to be like. I think that's one of the subtexts that are going on.
I mean, that's why it's also tragic.
Yes.
Is that, like, he didn't have to be that way.
Yeah.
He's, you know, it's harder to justify, but he's a victim of this system as well.
Yeah.
Here's Wendy whining some more. God, what a whiny. Just kidding. Just hating on Complex.
Yeah.
Magazine, website, whatever.
Clickbait.
Yeah.
No. You're wrong. Everything's far from fucking okay now.
Oh, yeah. Oh, things are not okay for them.
No.
But, you know, I'm not going to talk about Dr. Sleep. We're not talking about Dr. Sleep at all.
Yeah.
So that universe to me did not happen. But I do think that after this, they were okay.
Yes.
Like, I think that Wendy was finally able to, like, reach her potential and grow. You know, and you see, like, she's, like, working. She's, like, wearing work clothes.
Yeah. Do you feel there's a feminist message to this movie? Because, like that women don't need men to a certain degree.
Sort of. I'm reluctant to say that, though, because I don't want to give Stanley Kubrick credit for making a feminist movie.
Yeah.
Because Shelley Duvall did not have a good time. Man, if Dick hadn't asked them, you know,
Yeah.
they would have had an out.
Yeah.
Nobody should have helped.
Do you think he throws those away, or do you think he hides them?
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know that it matters.
I don't think it matters either, but I'm just curious.
My dad asked me why it's called The Shining, and I told him that it was, because that's what Dick's grandmother called it,
Yeah.
the thing they have. And then my dad was like, well, why did his grandmother call it that?
Is your father an 8-year-old child?
I don't know, but if I had to guess, it's like because you're special. You have a shine in your eyes. You're shining. And he that wasn't enough for him, and we'll never know. My dad is 8.
Okay.
Yeah. Remember when airplanes were a thing?
Oh yeah. Remember when you used to dress up to get on the airplane?
No, I don't.
I don't either, but it seems so much like a nice thing. I can't imagine going on an airplane having to wear a suit and not wear like comfortable clothes.
Yeah, but look at the leg room.
That is true.
You had your big comfy seats in your leg room.
Yeah.
Maybe if they brought that back, you'd treat it special.
Yeah. Yeah, 8:20, which is half of 8 is 4, and it's 4:20.
Yeah.
All right, everybody smoke up when they say that. That's the rule.
Anyways, another special effect, the roaring fire.
That's so crazy that's a special effect.
It looks really good.
Yeah,
it was just very hot. I mean, this was a set. Those were lights.
Yeah.
Shining in. We're at Durkins. That's the snowcat. The end. We can make that assumption. Just make that leap.
I just want to say, much later in life,
that guy's looking at a porn calendar. We also didn't point that out earlier, but there, like when Wendy's in the boiler room, there's like porn all over the walls.
Yeah. Do you know what happened to this? This was an actual place. Do you know what it turned into?
What?
A Durkin Donuts.
That TV right there is the same TV that Wendy's watching in the kitchen.
Oh.
With Susan Robertson while she's doing the fruit cocktail.
Oh.
Just a fun fact.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
It's a cartoon.
Yeah. A lot of cartoons. I'm not going to get into the whole cartoon thing.
Okay.
That's really covered. I mean, I feel like that's other people have talked about it better than I could.
Yeah.
But it is
it is interesting.
It is, and it's like constant. I love how he says assholes. It's fun. Sometimes I like to watch that scene and come up with like a backstory for the extras in the background.
Yeah. Hey, do you remember phone booths?
That's where homeless people pee.
Even in the airport.
Yeah. So this was going to be the second Stephen King reference I was gonna make, but he is about to drive by a red beetle in a car that had been destroyed in a car accident, which is the color of the Torrance's car in the book, and in this it's yellow.
What?
So it's a kind of a fuck you to Stephen King.
Fuck you.
There's no cows. Roadrunner. Which, you know, Danny gets chased.
Yeah.
Danny's the roadrunner. Danny's the explorer. Like, he's the one that roams the hotel and goes through the maze.
Yeah. And so does Wendy. Wendy at least does, like, she doesn't fully explore.
No, you see her go through the hotel with, like, the food cart and stuff.
Yeah. Well, we also like to note that she's doing Jack's job for the most part in the movie.
Yeah, Jack literally does no work.
Yeah. Or any of the things he's supposed to be doing.
There's, like, naked children in the painting behind them.
Oh.
Baseball bat.
Oh, yeah.
Winnie the Pooh.
How do you do? Mm-hmm.
Those overalls. God, I want those overalls. Comment on this if you have them.
Yeah.
I don't even care if they're my size. I don't even want them so I can dress like. I just think they're cool.
Yeah.
I love overalls.
Would
I bought overalls because I've seen them on TV shows before and decided I needed that character's overalls.
What's the if you got Wendy Torrance's overalls, the ones that are in this movie, would you like put them in a frame?
No, I'd wear them.
You would wear them?
Yeah.
Won't they depreciate in value?
No, I want them because they look cool.
Oh, okay. All right, so just in case anyone.
So, okay. We're almost at an hour and 42 minutes.
What?
Hour and 42 minutes. This is the beginning of the end. Coincidence? Maybe. I don't know. It seems unlikely.
How do you feel right now?
Me?
Yeah.
Kind of hungry.
Yeah.
I could go for some French fries and ketchup.
Or some fruit cocktail.
Big fruit cocktail.
Yeah. Doing like a commentary, I just want to let everyone know. I feel like you're doing a really good job, Lisa. But it is like kind of tiring to
I could talk about The Shining all day.
I know. It's a really quite a
It's funny because all work, no play. Jack does no work.
Yeah. He's not even commenting on something.
No. I mean, I get the people who think that that Jack is like a child.
Yeah.
You know, like he is neglecting his work. He's basically throwing a tantrum.
Yes.
I don't know. That's not not my personal take. I don't know that I would have felt that way if I hadn't read.
Well, there is something
like that
to be said about toxic masculinity just being men being children, essentially. They are just like...
Yeah. I mean, he definitely, like, skirts his responsibility, but is, like, fixated with, like, talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Wendy never talks about doing work,
Yeah.
but she does it all.
Yeah.
This is like the one part of the movie, I think, where it's like kind of a creep up.
Yeah.
But then you know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
Andy and I like to recite this scene to each other.
Yes.
We're not going to do it now because it's annoying to listen to other people do that. But we do play games sometimes where we go to the script and then we say a line and then the other person has to finish it. So if you get really into it, that's a fun game that you can play with your loved ones as well. The Shining game. There is a Shining board game that came out.
But you need more
It came out March 13th.
Right before the pandemic.
Which was 3 days before social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
And you need 3 players. So we've not been able to play it.
Now, let me ask you something interesting. I feel like there's a lot of things in this movie, a lot of weapons, or as my friends who are very young used to say, weapons.
Yes, there's many weapons.
There's the bat.
Yeah.
The kitchen knife.
Yes.
The axe.
Yes.
Am I missing any? Like, those are the big 3, I
Yeah.
think. Now, we do have an introduction to the knife. When we see the kitchen, we see the knives hanging on the wall. We never see the axe, I don't think, prior.
I don't think so.
Baseball bat, we do see in the background before she picks it up, right?
Yeah.
But is there a point when they bring in the stuff and there is the bat or anything?
I don't think we really need an introduction. Like, those are all, like, totally reasonable things to have there.
Yeah, because he's a kid. There's a bat. The axe is for fire.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if it's ever shown up before.
It makes a lot more sense than a croquet mallet.
That is true.
I love that all of the things that are so iconic about this movie, there's the axe, the twins, the elevator of blood, Danny talking to his finger,
the typewriter.
None of those were in the book.
Oh, yeah.
None of those are all for the movie attributes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's so perfect right now how, like, the camera is just, like, moving with him.
Yeah.
Like, I love that.
Yeah.
I think that this also is just an indicator of, like, this is how much Jack wants to be accepted.
Yeah.
Like, that he found people that he wants to impress that, like, believe in him.
Yeah.
And that he's willing to do these things for them.
I
for
also,
this, like, false sense of purpose.
Yeah. I mean, the interesting thing is that also, like, he at this point is making a big deal about how important this job is when it's not that big of a deal of a job.
Right.
But also at the same time, like, the other argument he should be making is, like, we can't really go anywhere. I can't just leave. I guess we could leave in the snowcat, but...
Like, she could go. There's no reason that he really needs to stay.
Or that they need to stay
He says,
there.
Wendy, darling.
Oh, yeah.
That's another Peter Pan thing.
It's interesting.
They did this scene a lot.
Yes.
I think this is the best scene
It is the best scene
in the movie.
And probably a very iconic scene. I think the interesting thing, I think when I was younger and I saw this scene, there is like a lot of stages you go through, and one of the things is that like there is a point where you do really like the scene because the scene kind of has like because Jack Nicholson is just doing it so doing it up in the scene. It is kind of like funny. Yeah.
Winter.
The way he says that and the way he sticks his tongue out.
I mean, I think it's so similar, though, to Doctor Strangelove with George C. Scott.
Yeah.
I mean, they've said that, like, they had him. First of all, there's no fucking way that Wendy would have been able to do that swinging a bat like that.
True.
And then I love, like, that she dragged him. Like, that's far. We know that that's far.
Yeah.
Like, Wendy's like a mom who, like, lifted up a truck to, like, save her baby.
Well, I think that's like kind of a great testament to the characters as kind of like some people perceive her as annoying, and just kind of a scaredy cat. She has like a great deal of strength.
Oh, yeah. And she finds it.
Yeah.
Like, this is like her finding that strength.
Yeah. And
she like really deliberates, like, you know, granted she's not great with doors.
right now.
Pull the pin out of the
Well,
door.
she's panicked.
Pull the pin.
Give her a break.
Wendy.
Wendy.
No, but so back to the him overacting. Like Stanley Kubrick had like George C. Scott do it normal in Doctor Strangelove, and then we're like, and just do it like crazy. We won't use it.
Yeah.
Like the crazy is what makes it interesting.
Yeah.
This is also just like, so right now, also Wendy really doesn't know. She knows that he's dangerous. She is. Your microphone is nowhere near your. Oh. She knows like Jack is dangerous, but like she has no idea that like Jack wants to kill them.
Yeah.
And she has no idea about the Grady thing at all.
True.
There's no reason to believe she has like a. She has no reason to believe that there's like anything truly that kind of horrible about to happen.
Right.
When we know he's not a good guy.
Sure.
But it does make it so much more believable that she would like be conflicted right now.
Yeah.
When you kind of consider that.
Well, she's not. Again, you said that she's not a dumb person. She can really sense that her husband is threatening her.
Right. I can't imagine like these people like dating. Because they're old enough that it's not like it's not like, oh, she was like pregnant and they had to get married.
Yeah.
Like Jack is visibly in his 40s. Like these people have almost no real chemistry.
Yeah. I think everybody just wants to be accepted.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to feel love and be accepted.
Nah, just losers.
Oh.
I'm just kidding. I love that.
I don't know how anyone is watching this movie, but since we're watching it on the Blu-ray, it's interesting that this has where it's on chapter 30 right now, and it goes up to chapter 41.
Yeah,
and not 42. Should go to 42.
I love this part because it has a little like pan flute.
Yeah.
I always think this is another like Peter Pan kind of moment.
Yeah.
Where like Wendy's like she grows up.
Yeah.
She's out of the nursery. She's done fucking around with her dog nanny. She's like ready to go to her big girl room. I always think that looks like a spider,
Yeah.
but I don't know how cars work. It's the car spider.
Which kind of makes sense for Stephen King property, which always has spiders in it.
Oh, well, we're not talking about
Or he
Stephen
does like
King.
to use spiders. But, sorry.
So we have another bunch of rooms with the lights on.
No maze.
No maze.
I want to sleep on a big bag of sugar.
I feel like I do. I've been eating so many Otter Pops.
Yeah.
My face is a big bag of sugar.
No, your face is fine.
For listeners, I've been eating a lot of Otter Pops during the quarantine.
Which are those, like...
Google it.
Yeah.
Google.
Just
They're
Google
flavor
it.
ice.
They're flavor ice.
But otter themed.
Made out of real otters.
Yeah. Otter meat. Popsicles. Just eating Oreos and crackers and peanut butter.
Yeah. It's like the life.
Yeah. We got Tang right there. There's more Tang.
I like the little...
So the disorganization of this pantry drives me insane.
I think it's interesting that he did, like after this happened, he did have this moment where he did, like, binge and eat a whole bunch of food right there. But, like, it's strange that the ghost gave him that time to do that versus, like, getting him out of there right away.
Yeah. We need to wake up.
Yeah. Well, I guess he's concussed.
There's the baking powder.
Oh, yeah, Calumet.
The iconic Native American genocide baking powder. Under the Tang, which is what astronauts drink.
And there's also country time near the Calumet because the genocide meant it's country time for us.
Yeah, it's nationalism.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about that before.
Yeah, I'm smart.
Oh, I'm going with that.
Yeah.
Got some sliced peaches. Which are like a golden fruit under the golden ray pimento pieces, because Woodrow Wilson abandoned the gold standard.
That son of a bitch.
And now we're just using fake money, which ties back into his not having cash, and then the other stuff.
All the other
about
stuff.
the gold standard in this.
Yeah.
All the others. I don't know that much about the abandonment of the gold standard, if I'm being totally honest.
Yeah, I don't know.
If I'm lying, I do. I know a ton.
Yeah.
Very knowledgeable.
Well, that's why you're doing this commenting, because you're an expert.
I'm not an expert. I just got a lot of time. That I don't use well.
Now, the reason why you don't see the ghost in this scene because there's no mirrors.
Yeah, there's people who think that Danny lets him out.
Yeah.
Which I don't. I'm not even going to get into that. I don't think that's true.
I think it's...
This is just a cool shot because it looks like they're going downhill.
Yeah.
But they're not.
I just wanted to say, I don't know...
That might be because it's a set.
Right. Well, I don't think you're ever supposed to know how Jack gets out of there.
It's ghosts.
It's clearly ghosts, but the other thing, if you want to follow the logic that it's all kind of in his head.
If you don't follow the logic that it's in his head,
or
go away.
I think you got to think who let him out is the same
the
people
dogs.
who let the dogs out.
Yeah, the Baja Men.
The Baja Men let Jack Torrance out.
Yeah. You know, I don't think this is a set.
This?
Yeah.
Maybe not.
Not not a set. There are cords on the electronics in the Torrance apartment.
Mm. I think this.
Because this is like the real realm.
I think the thing that makes also The Shining a pretty great movie is that it is so full of iconic things. The red rum thing being one of the big things. You can't just cite one thing and be like, "This is what The Shining."
It's
Shining
literally, it's perfect.
Yeah, there are so
It's
many.
the best horror movie ever made, too, because it defies every horror movie logic, and it's so good and so scary.
And it's also, but it just has so many moments that like stick with you.
Oh, I do want to say, so I've, I don't find this scary anymore because I've seen it so much. But I tried to experiment with like what is the scariest way to watch it, and I tried doing it like with all the lights out when nobody was home, late at night, and it turns out it's actually listening to it with headphones on full volume, because there's so much audio that you don't pick up from watching this. Like the music is so good and like so like complex.
Yeah.
You pick it up more, and then especially in the beginning, like there's a voice that says like "shown,"
Yes.
and you kind of like pick that up. It's just it's very eerie. It did hurt my ears. It's eerie.
Like how those, like how guys do the autoerotic asphyxiation where they like take a belt.
Women can do it too.
All right, but I just.
Women can do anything that men can do.
Okay, but you know how like when people do autoerotic
Yes.
and they take like a belt and they put it in like the door.
Yeah.
I think doing that and then watching the movie is probably the most scariest way to watch.
Probably. You know what else? Just Wendy was fast asleep.
Yeah.
Asleep. Just had a traumatic experience with her husband.
Yeah.
Her child was being weird.
Mm-hmm. Murder.
I love this shot.
Yeah.
Like, how good is that?
It is pretty great. I think it's a shot that people take for granted.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I don't think anyone realizes that when you see Jack do that, the camera is following the acts like flawlessly.
I mean, Steadicam was basically invented for this movie.
Yes. The bathroom. This is kind of my nightmare that I would not be able to
So
fit
you can see
through
here they're on
something.
like the second floor.
Yeah.
You can see they're basically right above the gold ballroom.
Ah.
Their room, which obviously is not where it is.
Yeah. I mean, I would be dead because I don't think I could. I'd be so scared that I couldn't fit through a certain.
You can't. You're not audible, I think, in the.
Oh. That's not real snow?
No.
What was it?
I think it's salt.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It looks so real.
We got another fairy tale kind of.
Oh, yeah. Fairy tale reference?
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So this is apparently taken from another movie called The Phantom Carriage
Oh yeah.
from the 20s. Like
Oh,
this,
yeah.
the whole axe thing is actually very similar. And even in Lolita, there's kind of a similar shot, like looking into a bathroom.
Yeah. We watched
You have to put the microphone closer to your face.
we watched a lot of Stanley Kubrick in his librie movies
Yeah, he didn't make
recently.
that many movies.
Yeah. But Lolita's good. I recommend.
Yeah, he's a pretty good movie guy. Andy dropped your microphone.
I know, thank you.
You're welcome.
Oh. Dick Halloran to the rescue.
Oh, so he just spent all day helping.
Oh my god. Yeah. I'm so tired after I get off a plane. I do not want to do anything. I really do not want to drive through.
But he
I know, but can you imagine having to go save people right after you get off the plane? I don't even want to do anything when I get off the plane. I feel so tired and
Oh my God.
drained.
Shut up.
Don't you feel
Shut
tired?
up.
You don't feel tired.
No,
Okay. You're a great person then.
I know.
You're one of those people that the snow cat.
It's funny because like Jack knows who it is
Yeah.
too, but I love the camera shake right here.
I like this limp that Jack has here. Kind of makes, and he's like hunched over. He's kind of turned into like the monster.
Yeah,
He kind of has like a funny, like a monster.
he's made his transition
Yeah.
to full-on monster Nazi.
Here comes Dick.
To the people who were like, "Oh my God, if Dick has this gift, why didn't he know he was gonna get killed?"
Mm.
It would have made for a less interesting story. There's that.
Yeah.
I think we've also established like The Shining isn't perfect. It's not the same as being psychic.
Yeah.
And Dick has been in this place. Like, there's no reason for him to believe that he's gonna die here necessarily. Spoiler alert.
Well, he never says that he can see the future. He said
No.
that he can just kind of talk with people that have the Shining,
Right.
and that he knows there's
Do you
ghosts.
think that Jack has The Shining?
I think like they said in when they did all the new Star Wars movies, I think he's Shining sensitive.
So I do think that Jack, because they deliberately say
Mm-hmm.
that this is like his grandmother had it.
Yeah.
Like that this is like a familial thing. And we know that Wendy doesn't have it because she's completely oblivious to all of this happening.
Until now.
Right. But even now, she doesn't think there's ghosts.
No.
She doesn't think there's ghosts until after Dick is dead.
Mm-hmm.
But I do think that Jack had it. Like, he had some capacity of it. And that is part of... He doesn't anymore.
Yeah.
And that he didn't know how to cope with that. And that is part of his, like, problem with his inability to express himself, is that he didn't know how to deal with it. So he drank it away.
I agree, but I also think that he's... I don't think he fully understands what it is, and I think it's not as strong. I think, like I said, I think he's sensitive to it, and I think and it makes him more susceptible to it. Susceptible.
Well, he's weak, too.
Yeah.
Oh,
right in the heart.
Right in front of the 7 diamonds. Here we got our Roadrunner scene.
Yeah. Well, Coyote's chasing
And
him
here
now.
Wendy is running up.
Yeah.
She's running upstairs to Danny. Why would Danny be upstairs?
Yeah. Good question.
And here, this is Penderecki, by the way. This is not music that was made for the movie. This is like an existing piece of music.
He made it for a porno that had a bear in it.
No.
I know, I'm just joking.
More water, symbolic of change. This is when Wendy sees ghosts for the first time.
Right. I like to think the reason why she's seeing the ghosts now is because the ghosts have reached a certain point of being really strong because something died in the hotel.
Well, because they absorbed Dick's shot. Because the reason they want Jack and Danny is because they want Danny's power.
Right. There's the maze.
Yeah. Those are Native American arts. Arts and farts.
Did they just make the place cold? Because this is a set, right?
Yeah.
How did they get the breath look?
It may have been actually cold.
Yeah.
I mean, it was filmed in the UK.
Yeah.
So. This is the first time Jack has left the hotel.
Yeah.
Since he went in the beginning.
Yeah.
So like he doesn't know what to do.
Do you think that he is do you think he really never been in a hotel or out of the hotel, or do you think he may have been out of the hotel in the cutscenes?
I think he never left.
Okay. Like in the in between scenes, I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Because you can also think like I don't think the ghosts can leave.
Yeah.
Because they don't come to help him.
That's true.
7 Up.
7 Up. 7 Up.
There were 6 things of 7 Up, by the way.
Oh.
6 times 7, 42.
Oh, snap.
Yo. Those lights were off, by the way.
Oh.
Earlier. So it was dark in that hallway before she ran down there. Wendy wanted to have a party earlier.
Yeah.
We could throw a real good party in here.
Yeah.
We're all going to have a real good time.
We're all going to have a real good time.
So the ghost's like, we know what you want. You want a party.
Yeah.
The little girls are like, you want to play with us, Danny? Because in the beginning, he's like, I don't have anyone to play with around here.
Oh, yeah.
And all Jack wants is alcohol and acceptance. Ghosts have what you need.
Oh, word.
We like to call this the CVS Halloween decoration scene because it is so different from the rest of the movie.
Yeah, this is a pretty
it's like a William castle.
Yeah, that is a real typical haunted place type scenario. Is like, ooh, skeletons.
There's a cool video on the internet to this song, or with this song, with this scene where he's walking backwards with like the stuff from 2001, like where the like colors. And then I don't remember what song it is, but I'm sure like a great video to watch if you've done acid when you're like 20.
Yeah.
Covering his tracks.
Yeah.
We never see this part of the hotel, but I like to assume that this is where the game room is. There's no proof of it, but I imagine the game room is in this lobby. I think the other reason this is in a totally different spot is because this was quite difficult to make.
Yeah.
And they had to do this several times. And it was in its own little spot. You can kind of see the thing again.
The rig.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, he's getting tired. Now, if this was me, possessed or not.
I can't hear you.
If this was me, possessed or not, I would have gave up. Because I would have been cold and tired. And I would have been like, oh, I'll just do it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe that.
You too.
I wouldn't give up. Kidding?
You would have went down the same path?
I mean, we've been in a situation where we had to do a lot of stuff in the snow. And I recall you not wanting to, and then I walked in 4 feet of snow.
Oh, yeah.
So, from personal experience,
you would murder your child.
I would persevere and murder my child, yes. I would not have given up. I follow through.
It's so cold.
Put on a coat. Get some of those toasty hand things. I was going to call them Frosty Paws, but that's a dog ice cream treat.
Yeah. We've gone off the rails a little bit toward the end here.
There's no rails.
No rails. Only shine.
This building is not up to code.
Mm-hmm.
There was a deleted scene for the end.
Yeah.
Where Wendy and Danny are out, and then there's like they're in the hospital, and what's his name?
Almond.
Almond is there.
Almond.
And he's like, oh, we went and we checked the hotel. There was none of the things that you said.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they removed that. You can find the script, but I think the footage is gone.
Yeah.
Jack is actually singing a song right here.
Not yet.
No, he's saying Wendy.
He's saying Wendy, help me, Wendy, Danny, I think. He's doing it in such a garbled tone because he's gone mad. He's also slowly freezing to death right now.
I don't think it's that slow.
Yeah, right here. He's singing a song. It's like a song about going back to San Francisco, I think.
Yeah. I forget what the song is called.
Yeah. It's interesting that I always just thought he was just yelling incoherently. I didn't know he was singing.
No, he's singing incoherently.
It's true.
They're gone.
And yay!
They're driving uphill.
Yeah. I'm so happy they escaped. Like that's the kind of thing I like about this movie is that you feel good that
Yeah.
you got to leave. You feel bad that Dick died, but you kind of feel good that like evil didn't prevail.
But even then, it still defies horror movie convention. The good people get out.
Yeah.
But then it does also play into it because I think that the end with the photo,
Uh-huh.
this is that's not really him. It's like a model.
Oh yeah.
It looks cool. It's like propped up. There's like shots of the side.
Yeah.
So all the furniture has been covered up sometime later.
That's because the furniture's trying to be ghosts.
Yeah, dressing up as ghosts.
We're ghosts too. Oh.
But I think this is like pretty traditional horror movie-ish, where it's like, oh, here he is.
There's some diamonds there.
Yeah, we saw those diamonds earlier. So Jack is also kind of like positioned like the devil tarot card.
Yes.
Here.
He has his one hand up.
Because the devil is the person that does the evil things.
Yes.
And to me, this end is not ambiguous. It's just saying, oh, the guy right above him looks like Woodrow Wilson. That's why everybody thinks it's the gold standard thing. It's just that this has happened before and it will happen again.
Yeah.
That like these horrible things are just always going to continue. It's a cycle. The Shining is cyclical.
Yes.
This is also like not this photo wasn't made for this. He's photoshopped, quote unquote, onto that. Like it's just Jack Nicholson's face, but it's another guy that's standing there.
Yeah. I think it's interesting about this end is this music is like so haunting. It's not as we established and said earlier, it is
Midnight the Stars and You.
Is a pre-existing song. But it's so kind of interesting that how old-timey songs kind of just all sound inherently
Oh, no, it's
creepy.
just old-timey songs from this era.
Yeah. It's always something creepy. It's always like, you're like, oh, there's a baby stroller and it has no baby in it, baby.
Oh, goodness, Andy. Oh, goodness. So this was The Shining.
This was The Shining.
My favorite credit is Hair by Leonard.
Hair by Leonard.
Leonard did the hair for this.
Yeah. That's always a fun credit.
Thank you for listening, Mike, and maybe other people.
Well, I think definitely, let's say, give a shout out to your mom. There's Wendy Carlos right there. Who else do you think is listening to this?
My mom and Mike.
Maybe my sister and my...
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, and her boyfriend. We should stay on until we see the Hair by Leonard thing. That's always like such
Yeah,
a
we're
fun.
gonna...
Should we do the whole credit sequence?
No, we're gonna be done in a second.
Oh. Oh, midnight.
If I was wrong about anything, don't tell me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna get into a whole thing.
We didn't... Hairstyles by
Leonard.
Leonard.
Thank you so much.
See ya.